Maybe letting it go is the best, but it doesn't feel like the best, I guess.
And every time I start making plans for this place, I remember we're going to try and sell it.
It's a special place that was meant to be more special and now has a lot of pain, and I don't even know what to do with it. Because in this moment, I'm not thinking about the pain. I'm thinking about how cool it'd be to do this all the time.
Let's see. Oh, perfect. Look at this.
Mary just dropped an amazing story during her Fridays with friends. I caught a bit of it, and it's chef's kiss in terms of pure emotional warfare. Someone asked her about Kody's art collection, and instead of just giving a polite answer, she decided to share a gem of a story. So, when they were living in Vegas, Mary had her eye on a piece of art by this one artist she really liked. She was excited about the idea of owning it, and she and Kody went to check it out. Turns out, Kody was actually making payments on a piece of art he had already bought for Robyn. But instead of just, keeping his mouth shut, Kody casually mentions that Mary could go look at the art at Robyn's house. Let's just pause and really appreciate that level of emotional cruelty. Kody isn't just mean, he's cruel. And honestly, it was probably all funded by Mary's money anyway. I mean, first, he ruined her ring, and now this, it's like a masterclass in how to break someone down emotionally. I'm honestly so relieved she finally managed to break free and get away from him. The things he put her through, unbelievable. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. So I'm rewatching this, and I've hit that point in Season 6. Yeah, the one where they all head to Sedona for a marriage retreat. Robyn's not even trying to hide her disdain for therapists. Honestly, it's obvious she just doesn't want anyone figuring her out. I mean, what else could it be? It's not like she's going to suddenly love therapy because they might crack the code on why she's so. Well, Robyn. But here's what really stands out. Robyn is so jealous of Christine. I mean, it's borderline obvious. She keeps Mary close, sure, as her little sidekick to manipulate, but Christine, that's her real enemy. Robyn's glaring jealousy is crystal clear. Go back to Season 1 when Robyn first joins the family. Remember when she's making Kody breakfast or whatever, and he says to her, "You should talk to Christine. She'll show you how I like this." And oh boy, the look on Robyn's face, pure rage. You can almost hear her thinking, what? Who the hell does she think she is? Because, let's face it, Christine is basically the family's real MVP. She organizes, cooks, juggles the kids, works part-time. She's everything Robyn isn't, and frankly, never will be. Fast forward, and you can hear Kody talking about how all the wives gossip about each other. And honestly, you've got to believe that Robyn's leading the charge when it comes to trash-talking Christine. I mean, can you blame her? That jealousy is real. And then, in later seasons, Robyn gets this master plan. Play the fragile, helpless card with Kody. Suddenly, she's got him feeling all sorry for her. Instead of contributing like the other wives, showing her strengths, helping out, being part of the team, she just pulls the sympathy card. Lazy? Manipulative? Oh, absolutely. But hey, I could be totally off. What do you think? Wow, talk about a trip down memory lane. Was that real, or did I just dream it? I vaguely remember a scene from the early days of the series when Sobs and Noodlehead were sitting on the couch with the OG3. They were chatting about how Sobs was so stressed she lost 15 pounds. Funny thing is, she didn't look any thinner, so I just assumed it was another little jab at the OG3's weight. But hey, who knows? Does anyone else remember this? If it did happen, can anyone pinpoint when exactly? I swear my memory is going, so I'd appreciate any help. As for the scene in question, this is when they first moved to Vegas, and everyone's talking about how much more relaxed they feel. Robyn pipes up saying she's finally feeling better because she's got an appetite again. She claims it's because she was so stressed she lost 15 pounds. I'm pretty sure it's either the last episode of Season 2 or the first couple of Season 3. Oh, And let's not forget how she conveniently leaves out the whole "I'm pregnant" thing, which might explain the sudden surge in appetite. In the earlier seasons, Robyn made a big deal about how she couldn't eat because the smells of food made her sick, not because, she was actually pregnant. Then, out of nowhere, she's heaping her plate with all sorts of stinky food. Classic. It's almost like she's trying to make the other wives feel bad. Always fun, right? Robyn is an absolute embarrassment to women everywhere. Seriously, the conversation she and Kody had with Aurora and Brianna about becoming mothers before they've even had a chance to build a career? That's just toxic, plain and simple. Robyn clings to these outdated, patriarchal ideas as if they've somehow worked out for her, despite the fact that she's been through not one, but 2 failed polygamist marriages. And let's not forget, Kody is a dirtbag through and through. Has Robyn learned nothing from watching her strong sister wives walk away from their marriages with nothing but their kids in tow, having to rebuild their lives from scratch? Maybe, just maybe, it'd be worth teaching these girls the value of having a career. I mean, hello, it's not rocket science. The way Robyn goes along with this whole thing, pretending to care with her fake sobs and crocodile tears, is truly the worst. She doesn't just lack emotional intelligence, she actively encourages these ridiculous, outdated conversations. It's honestly baffling. Robyn Green is doing a massive disservice to all American women, setting us back decades. It's almost like she forgets that God gave us brains, not just a womb. And then there's the cherry on top. These girls are just itching to settle down with some guy. They're practically rushing to church just to meet boys, and now, baby talk? Seriously? Shouldn't they be focusing on becoming independent and self-sufficient, not growing up to be whiny, lazy, emotional leeches like their mother? If Robyn really cared, she'd encourage them to get jobs, not the volunteer type at church, but actual jobs, in the real world. Maybe take a trip, meet some people outside that tiny, restrictive bubble they've been raised in. These girls deserve better than to be blindly led down the same path Robyn is trying to force them on, too afraid to speak up and say no. Did anyone else notice how childish Brianna sounded in the recent episode, S19E19, when she asked to cut the firewood? Seriously, it's like she's permanently stuck in a 12-year-old's body, and her voice? A total fake baby voice, almost as if she's putting on an act for the cameras. It's pretty concerning that at 20 years old, she still seems to be playing the role of a child. And the fact that people around her encourage it, even more concerning. And then there's Robyn, the master of the split personality. One minute, she's sweetly talking to Kody or the camera like everything is sunshine and rainbows, and the next, the camera catches her screaming at someone. Real Mom of the Year energy right there. But honestly, I think Christine has it the worst. I mean, she talks like she's running a kindergarten class. It used to be more frequent, but lately, she's been a little more manic. Even when she's yelling, it's like she's trying to wrangle a bunch of 5-year-olds. I know this might sound weird, but growing up around women like this, the kindergarten teacher voice kind of gives me a sense of comfort. No hate, just saying. Here's the thing. Both of Robyn's daughters are adults now, and yet they still need permission to join a church, date, and get baptized. They should be able to make their own decisions by now. Sure, Kody preaches about independence, but for some reason, that message doesn't seem to reach Robyn's kids. They make me uncomfortable. And then we get to the part in the episode where they talk about having kids. Yikes, Kody was way too involved. Like, I get that parents care about their kids' futures, but he was downright nosy. Seriously, if you're a college student and you're still asking mommy and daddy if it's okay to go to church, you're not nearly mature enough to be having kids of your own. By the way, I used to be a grad student at NAU, and they constantly warned us about parents who still treat their grown kids like they're in middle school. You'd have parents showing up to class with their kids, taking over office hours, doing their kids' homework, and flipping out if their precious little ones didn't get an A+. There was even a dad who tried to sue the school because he didn't want his biology major daughter to learn about reproduction. I have this feeling Kody and Robyn are exactly the type of parents who'd be a nightmare in that situation. Oh, and let's not pretend these girls are as innocent as they seem. I'm betting they're playing the game and know how to work Robyn's manipulation. People saying they feel sorry for them might just be getting played too. Just saying. This lifestyle breeds nothing but jealousy and manipulation. You've got everyone scrambling for a slice of the pie, whether that's time with your spouse, a piece of the money to fuel your desires, or a share of the father's attention for the kids. It's like a never-ending competition, and I'm sure everyone learns the tricks of the trade from a young age by watching their mothers. It's sad, really, but it's also completely understandable. Some people are just better at playing the game than others. Robyn, she's a master. Mary, pretty skilled. Janelle, yeah, she opted out. And Christine, she never even learned the rules. Now, the OG3 are left to deal with all these messed up coping mechanisms they've picked up over the years. Christine, though, I think she's done a lot of work on herself. She seems more honest, more open, at least compared to the others. But I honestly hope they all find peace and happiness in the end. Though, if I'm being real, I'd love it if they all just came out and condemned polygamy. Janelle saying she'd get into it again just rubs me the wrong way. But here's the thing, if, and that's a huge if, the wives really loved each other and their sister wives' kids like they love their own, they wouldn't be able to stand by and watch their sister wives and their kids go without love, attention, or financial support. They wouldn't be okay with just them and their kids being taken care of, while everyone else gets left in the dust. They wouldn't bask in the glory of being the favored wife, while the other families are neglected and abandoned. Take Robyn, for example. If she had even an ounce of concern for Isabel or Christine, she would have insisted Kody go with them for Isabel's surgery. Not just suggested it, but made it happen. And when they got back, she could have at least dropped off some meals, or even just left them outside, while Christine was up every few hours giving meds and doing everything else. Janelle offered to stay in a tent in the backyard just to give Christine a break, or at least take Truly so Christine didn't have to drag her across the country for Isabel's surgery. But no, Robyn, the selfish, non-contributing family member that she is, couldn't bear the thought of her kids being without Kody for 2 whole days. Meanwhile, Truly, who hadn't seen him in months, was stuck with no real support. And don't even get me started on Truly's near-death experience with kidney failure. If Robyn actually cared for Christine or Truly, she would have demanded Kody be at the hospital to support them. But this was one of the rare moments where Robyn didn't shed a single fake tear. She didn't care at all, not about Truly's life-threatening situation, and certainly not about the immense stress Christine was under. But hey, as long as Robyn's world wasn't disrupted, Wright's exhausted. Does Robyn even have friends? It's hard to tell, but I'm starting to suspect her true friendship goals were less about actual relationships, and more about using the other wives as props in her perfect polygamous dream. Think about it. She definitely wanted all the wives to stay married to Kody, not because she liked them, but because she needed them to stick around for her own convenience. She didn't want Kody to spend any real time with them or, heaven forbid, show them any affection, but at the same time, she wanted them to be on call for Christmas at the McMansion, trips to nowhere, and of course, to work hard and fund her nanny's salary. What was her master plan? I'm thinking she probably wanted to replicate the relationship between Kody and Mary with the other 2 wives. Dream big, right? Can you imagine having Robyn as a friend? I mean, the emotional roller coaster alone would be enough to make you start considering your other social options. The constant drama, her total inability to take a joke, and let's not forget the unbelievable victim complex she's got going on, Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if even her kids avoid normal conversations with her. They're probably walking on eggshells just to keep the peace. Robyn loves the idea of a big family, the glamour, the perks, and of course, the money. But let's not forget, she thought all she had to do was show up and bring the relish tray. Her kids got the polygamous experience, while she expected the other wives to just grin and bear it, like Mary did. She probably wanted to be the favorite wife, but not the only wife. Now that Kody's stuck with her 24/7s, I bet she's having second thoughts. Before, he could run off to her house to avoid the drama with the other wives. Now, he's glued to her side, and I'm sure that honeymoon vibes wearing thin. And don't get me started on the whole friends thing. The OG3 might have had some genuine friendships, but Robyn, she's talked before about how other women are jealous of her. Please, we all know the truth. Other women don't like her because they can see exactly what she's about. So apparently, the church they're talking about is the AUV. Really? I don't know if this has been discussed before, but this is news to me. I've been casually watching this show, and I had no idea that the church they keep mentioning is the Apostolic United Brethren. And let's talk about Christine's pedigree for a second. This is the bloodline of Rulin Allred, the guy connected to the blood atonement practices and, let's not forget, the assassination cult that moved to Mexico. Yeah, that guy. If there's any silver lining to polygamy, it sure isn't coming from the AUB. This is absolutely disgusting. TLC is normalizing a violent hate group that exploits women and children, and they're getting away with it. After all the dirt we've learned about the Duggars and their toxic culture of abuse, this is what they're promoting? Come on, TLC. Seriously, pump the brakes. It's time to stop glorifying this guy and expose him for who he really is. It's appalling that a platform like this is giving a dangerous clown so much fame and fortune. Thanks for letting me vent, but let's be real. TLC has never been about being responsible. That said, it's TLC's money that made it possible for these women to escape. Quick clarification, Kody isn't even a member of the AVB anymore. Christine's history is tied to that church, but she's long been out of it. She's not a believer and couldn't care less about polygamy or the AUB. Mary left too, by the way. Janelle, though, still a fan of polygamy, believes in that whole celestial kingdom nonsense. Go figure. Now, just to set the record straight, the Lebarons aren't the same as the AUB, although both are offshoots of Mormon-based cults. The Lebarons are the ones who assassinated Christine's grandfather, the founder of the AUB. So yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there. The AUB may have its own issues, but they're not out here doing blood atonement, and they're not a violent organization. And yeah, all these cults tend to have huge families that often swap groups, so you'll find people with the Lebaron name scattered all over the place, even in the AVV or FLDS. For more insight, check out the Daughters of the Cult documentary series about the Lebarons. It's eye-opening. Also, look up Melanie on YouTube and TikTok. She's the current prophet's daughter, and she left the AUB. She regularly calls out the issues in that group and has made it clear they have nothing to do with blood atonement. I had no idea Janelle was married to Mary's brother until this morning. And wait, didn't Janelle's mom marry Kody's dad, making her a sister wife to his first wife? Are there seriously that few men in this religion to go around? Because this whole thing feels a little incestuous. Honestly, if we're talking about a shortage, it sounds like it's a shortage of women. Janelle's mom was LDS but switched to AUB after meeting Wynn, mostly to keep Janelle from getting caught up in the AUB scene herself. I suspect Wynn originally had plans to marry Janelle off to Kody's brother. Oh, and just to complicate things more, Wynn was already a polygamist when Cheryl entered the picture. He had another wife, Bobby, who decided to keep a low profile, and then there was Janelle, who had been with him forever. Somehow, though, Wynn managed to charm Cheryl into joining his little harem. The brown men sure know how to cast a spell on women, don't they? Why do I even root for them? I'm at the end of season 6 now, and I'm starting to see everything everyone's been talking about on this subreddit. But seriously, why do I still want them to be happy and get along so badly? Am I completely crazy or just hopelessly naive? Knowing that everything falls apart and ends in divorce just makes me so darn sad. I started watching during season 17 when everything was already falling apart, and now I'm going back to watch the earlier seasons. I feel the exact same way. It breaks my heart to know that he's no longer close with most of his kids. They all seem to love their dad back in the earlier seasons, and okay, not a fan of Robyn, but I can kind of understand why she's so upset about losing the whole family dynamic. So I've been trying to escape real life, and honestly, the train wreck that is Southwest is oddly comforting. At least I know the ladies managed to make it out in the end. Anyway, Leon's college situation is a hot mess. Here's the rundown. They took Logan's UILV tuition and decided that would be the magic number for all the kids. Then Leon got a scholarship. After that, the whole crew figured, why not let Mary cover the difference from her budget? She's getting the money anyway, right? Then enter Kody, who's suddenly having a meltdown over the kids not taking on debt. But surprise, he's not actually worried about their financial futures. No, he's stressed about needing to co-sign for their loans. Leon's high school buddy comes in and tells Kody that loans aren't as terrifying as he thinks. And if Leon's serious about med school, they need to focus on studying, not juggling 2 jobs. Miraculously, Kody seems to almost get it, though I'm not totally convinced. But wait, Robyn, who's working overtime with Nexusx, what's the actual workload here? Like, how hard is this really? Even Mary's like, this is Robyn's dream, not mine, not anyone else's. Meanwhile, Janelle had her own dream of opening a gym, but when it came down to it, she said the upfront costs were too high. Personally, I wonder if the real issue was Kody's obsession with supporting Robyn's grand vision instead. It's painfully clear that none of them have a clue about running a business. And then, poor Christine. She's still upset when she tells Robyn that it stings she didn't even ask her to babysit before hiring one. Robyn, of course, bursts into tears and goes on about how everyone keeps saying it's over, but she's just here, happy with any scrap of affection she gets. It's not over, she says, and I'm rolling my eyes because, oh honey, you totally missed the point. Christine's raising Truly has no interest in Nexusx and never wanted to work for it. Why not just let her do what she's good at, watch the kids? But no, Robyn can't bear the thought that her kids might start liking Christine's house better. It's so painfully obvious from the start, and it honestly breaks my heart that they had to spend so many years tangled up in gaslighting and lies to finally break free. At least they made it out, right? Let's talk about this for a second. The fall of the family. First off, I should admit, I never watched Sister Wives before December. I mean, I was totally a TLC kid, but I somehow missed the polygamous family drama memo. Now, I'm on season 8, and yes, I know, I need a life, hahaha. But honestly, after binge-watching this, I feel like I've unlocked some kind of cultish knowledge. And one thing I definitely know now, the move to Vegas was like the opening credits to the downfall. But really, let's not kid ourselves. The moment they agreed to even do the show, that was probably the beginning of the end. Here's the big question that has been bugging me. Though, if Mary had such a hard time accepting each new wife that came along, why on earth did she initiate Robyn into the family? Like, make it make sense. Kody, Janelle, and Christine have all said they weren't exactly shopping for a 4th wife. So, knowing how difficult Mary was with the first 2, what made her think, hey, you know what would really spice things up? A 4th wife? What was she thinking? And while we're on the topic of questionable decisions, when, pray tell, does Kody ever spend actual quality time with his kids? Yes, I get it. It's a TV show, so we don't see everything. But seriously, how can you be considered a present parent when you don't even know your kids? It's almost impressive how much she manages to avoid bonding with them. But hey, I'm just an observer here. I'd love to hear from some OG viewers who've stuck with the show from the beginning, so drop your spoilers and insights. I'm all ears. I do know that Christine leaves eventually, like I'm not that out of the loop, but I have no idea what happens to the other wives. I'm still in season 8, and right now, Miri is giving off major 1 foot in, 1 foot out energy. She's barely speaking this season, so I'm thinking she's out before Christine. At least, that's what I'm guessing. Who knows? Maybe she surprises me, but I doubt it. Also, can we talk about how each of the kids has their own distinct personality? I love seeing that, but honestly, it has to be hard to establish individuality in a family this big. Now, let's really dive into Miri and Janelle's issues. Their problems were way beyond just the normal blending of wives. Janelle's entry into the family was a mess. It was basically doomed from the start. But here's where it gets juicy. Miri and Janelle both agreed there was definitely a 4th wife in the picture. Christine, of course, was the one holding out. Classic Christine, right? But hold on, Miri didn't actually bring Robyn into the family. According to the family book, yes, they have a book, because why wouldn't they? They considered adding women off and on, but none of the OG3 were on board with it. It was all Kody's idea. He locked eyes with Robyn at church and boom, a courtship started. Miri supported this, but it was more about gaining Kody's favor than any true sister-wife solidarity. Christine went full-on red carpet to make sure Robyn picked them. And Janelle? Well, she claimed she had a testimony about Robyn. Yeah, okay. Here's the kicker. All the wives have to say they approve of a new wife for it to happen. But spoiler alert, they don't. And behind the scenes, not shown on the show, Miri spiraled into a pretty dark place during Robyn's courtship. They only admitted it years later, but it's pretty clear she was struggling. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.